It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey there, and thank you for joining us on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. This NBA season didn't take long to get interesting, but these two gentlemen have always captured our interest. Say hello to Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Hello, Kenny.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Shaq. Tonight, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks going up against the Los Angeles Clippers. Well, for the Clippers, coming off a loss in the first game of the season, they'll no doubt be anxious to put tonight's contest in the win column and avoid an 0-2 start. Well, the big problem for Dallas last season was their play on the defensive end. They just didn't do enough to slow teams down. What can they do to improve that, Shaq?
Well, first, they got to have a rim protector on the floor at all times. Can't be passive about letting perimeter players get into the teeth of their defense and score. You need a rim protector.
I don't know. They did a poor job of rebounding last year, Shaq, and second worst in the league in the percentage of defensive rebounds grabbed. So I don't know if they can change that. It's going to be difficult.
That'll do it for us for now. Cannot thank you enough for tuning in.
We are live. It's a Thursday night presentation here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And joining us in a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. Looking at the last game for the Los Angeles Clippers, it was a loss to the Kings in Sacramento. And guys, they were in that one to the very end. They just couldn't put it together in the last few minutes. They lost by just 2 points.
Yeah, major problems at the charity stripe in that game. They just could not convert their free throw.
And that makes it hard to win, especially on the road. You get a chorus of about 20,000 yelling at you every time you put one off the rim. Well, that's got to wear on you.
It'll be Los Angeles off the tip. Now, a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Dirk and Chandler are the pair up front. Monte and Parsons at the 2 and 3. And it's Rondo in at the 1. Now here's Crawford from 11 feet away. Here's Jordan. And that one is stuffed right through.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it.
And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame. Ellis outside. Here's Chandler. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
You know, that's a case there, Kevin, of him making a pass to a spot and then he let his teammate run right into it. Well executed.
Andre Jordan has been extremely productive over 7 years. That makes it even more unbelievable that there was some question, Clark, as to his commitment to basketball coming into the league.
Yeah, you know, on talent and athleticism alone, he would have been a top 10 pick for sure, but he slipped to the second round and he's made good on it, though.
Crawford against Ellis. Here's Barnes. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Barnes has got his first basket.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
No problems knocking that one down. Nowitzki's got his first basket of the night.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
Paul kicks to Griffin. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. Paul for 3. No luck. And it's Dallas the other way. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
They drew a lot of fouls in their games, guys, and then that was the one area that really stood out when you watched it.
Just lacked discipline defensively, Greg. I mean, that's why they got a lot of free points at the charity stripe.
Here's Paul after the made shot from Chandler Parsons. Jordan inside. He's guarded by Chandler. That is good. Now here's Rondo. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. The fadeaway, and the shot falls short this time.
4 or 5 to start the game. That's their first miss.
And there's Barnes. That's good on the assist by Crawford.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 4-7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Again, the Clippers. Here's Rondo. He dishes it to Parsons. Chandler a screen. Nowitzki against Griffin. Nowitzki kicks to Chandler. Misses from close range.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight. That
Yeah.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. And the Mavericks with possession here. The Clippers getting the bucket. And Nowitzki wide open. He fires. Dallas again missing. Here's the Clippers. Good momentum, 8 straight points. Left side, Jordan. That's in, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside. Make them beat you from deep. Well, not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Griffin kicks to Barnes. Launches it. The rebound by Monte Ellis. Mavericks trail by 6.
Last season, the Clippers came away with the 3rd seed out west. They were very tough in conference and managed to get 37 of their 56 wins against Western Conference teams.
Oh, a tough quarter for him offensively. He hasn't been able to give his team a lift when they need it.
Paul dishes to Crawford. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. As you said, for the Clippers, 37 wins last year against the rest of the West. That total was the 2nd most against the rest of the West among any team in the league. Trailed only Golden State in that regard.
And you know what? They played the top West teams tough as well. One of only 3 Western Conference teams to be over 500 against the rest of the playoff teams from the West.
Rondo drives in. Will it go? And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
You know, Rondo, a strange year shooting the ball last season. For a good stretch, he was shooting the same from the free throw line as he was from three-point range, about 30%.
Greg, you were talking about Rondo, and his shooting woes have been well documented. Clark, he tried to tap into Dirk's old shooting coach to help him out while in Dallas.
You know, a good portion of this might be mental at this point for Rondo. He is getting to the point in his career where I think it is what it is for him in regards to his shooting.
And Rondo drops them both. It was a trade that seemingly had been talked about for several years. Finally last season, Boston shipping out Rajon Rondo to the Dallas Mavericks, Clark, halfway through the season.
Yeah, and it seemed to me to be a trade that actually helped both teams.
Picked by Griffin. Here's Crawford. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And for Rondo, in the trade, he was able to get out of a rebuilding situation in Boston. It immediately helped a playoff contender in Dallas that was looking for help at that point guard position. And I tell you what, it was a rough go of things there early on for Rondo in Dallas. And you know, even for great players, it's always an adjustment when you go from a position of comfort to a completely new environment. And even though you're going to a better team, there's going to be some hemming and hawing in terms of your role and how you fit in.
And so he makes both from the line.
Well, you know, the Mavs made the playoffs last season, but they really had a hard time against the rest of the Western Conference contenders, in part because they struggled defensively. Offensively, they were pretty good, but they didn't quite come up with enough stops when they needed them.
Now here's Parsons. Really played well against Phoenix in his last outing. Jumper off the screen and off the front iron, and in it goes. Parsons got his second bucket of the night. And Greg, you talked about what the Mavs did, how they played against the West, 29-23 record against the rest of the country.
Yeah, but Kevin, it's a little misleading, the win total. I mean, if you look at the Mavs against the teams that they compare themselves to, which are the playoff teams in the West, they were only 10-18 over the course of the season.
Good point. And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. And Chandler Parsons really set off a Texas rivalry last year, drafted by the Rockets in the second round. He received an offer sheet in free agency from the team's rival, the Dallas Mavericks. Eventually chose Dallas, injured in the playoffs, hurt a knee, only played the one game. But I think they've got great things ahead for him with the Mavs.
Yeah, you know, Parsons was a restricted free agent, so that meant the Rockets could match if they wanted to, but they declined to match Dallas's offer, which sent Parsons packing just up the road in Texas.
Myers checked in for Dallas. And the Clippers have possession. 6-point lead.
You know, back to the topic of Parsons' free agency, the offer from the Mavs was 3 years, $46 million. Houston didn't want to go that high, so they reluctantly let Parsons leave. Ultimately, Houston filled Parsons' small forward role with the signing of Trevor Ariza. Not bad.
5 on the clock. Deep two from Crawford. They get it back. Jordan, that's his fourth basket of the game, and he's only taken 4 shots. Off to a good start.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this. And talking about the Texas showdown over Parsons last year, even his teammates got involved. After Parsons left, James Harden reacted saying that Dwight Howard and Harden were the cornerstones of the Rockets. But that's probably nothing compared to the rivalry that the two teams' ownerships felt.
And the dunk by Jordan.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Yeah, those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense. They're hanging their heads in their chest now.
Parsons' shot is off.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Crawford's shot is good.
You could not diagram a better way to open a quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the lead they've jumped out to already. What a start.
Rondo passes to Nowitzki, and it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. And it's 6 points for Nowitzki. Los Angeles leading by 8. Outside Griffin. Crawford outside. Kicks to Barnes. Buries it down low. Barnes has got 6.
Yeah, off to a strong start here early. 6 points off second chance buckets.
Yeah, and you know what, Greg? You like their effort level here in the early going. I mean, they're really making things happen for themselves. Rondo with the nice dish.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Kevin, I had a chance to talk to head coach Rick Carlisle. We talked about the difficulties of facing a player like Chris Paul, and he said that what makes Paul so incredible is his court vision. He explained that there haven't been many players like Paul who can pick a defense apart with both his passing ability and his patience in the offensive sets, saying really, he can just wait you out until he sees a weakness, and that's where he attacks.
And thank you for that, Doris. First one falls for him. And an interesting byproduct of Blake Griffin extending his shooting range and his perimeter defense, Clark, his rebounding numbers have gone way down.
Well, it's hard to have it both ways, Kevin. I mean, the team needs him to keep working on his perimeter game, and if he's out on the perimeter, it makes it tougher for him to get rebounds inside.
Glenn Davis is checked in for Los Angeles. Redick comes in for Jamal Crawford. He doesn't get the second one.
And on the topic of Griffin's rebounding, there's another force that helps submarine his numbers. DeAndre Jordan. Over the past few seasons, as Jordan's boards went up, Griffin's have gone down. Now, you think with the two elite rebounders that the team would finish better than 20th in rebounding last year, but that's another story.
Here's Barnes after the made shot from Chandler Parsons. And the wide-open shot from Redick drains it from beyond the arc. Redick's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Now, here's Barea. He's guarded closely. Dishes it to D'Alembert. The shot will not go.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
And, Greg, that's exactly what he gives you. I mean, he's constantly making his presence felt around the rim. And back to Griffin for a minute. I think he will soon find a balance between his emerging perimeter game and his rebounding. 7.5 boards a game, far too few for him last year. He's likely to return to double-digit rebounding averages, I think, sometime soon.
Here's Davis, makes it off the glass. And now it's a 12-point Clipper lead.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
And Parsons kicks to Stoudemire, loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Now here's Barnes. He's coming off a 13-point game against Sacramento.
And 3 blocks on the game as well. I mean, he was going all out and making plays defensively.
Now here is Harris, following the miss by Griffin. Stoudemire setting the pick for Harris. High post, Stoudemire. It's stolen by Davis. And now the Clippers on the break. Here's Barnes. Stoudemire grabs the miss.
The bucket just not well protected, but still he doesn't convert too often. That's been the story with him. Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
Here's Paul, following the score by Dallas. Pick by Griffin. It's Redick on the wing, 4 on the shot clock. The Clippers need to get off the shot, and he gets the bucket. 8 points for Barnes.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high a field goal percentage.
Yeah, you've got to turn up the dial on the intensity at the defensive end if you're them. I mean, it's still early, but I agree with you.
Here's D'Alembert, and good coming on the assist from Devin Harris.
It's like everybody is in a rhythm right now. Incredible stuff here early on.
Both teams playing downhill. You know, coaches say that all the time. You want to play downhill. Well, at some point you think somebody's got to cool off in this one, right?
Ball outside, fires the 3, and again Los Angeles with the triple.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Greg, it's hard to imagine they'll stay this hot for 4 quarters, but if they even approximate that, watch out.
And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Clippers lead by 11. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And Blake Griffin grew up playing the game alongside his older brother. His dad was his coach, and he credits his brother for inspiring him to work at his craft.
You know, watching him kind of go through the process of he started to get, recruited by college coaches, and then he, really took his game and became serious about it. And I watched his work ethic, and I watched how he, put the time in, the things he did, and that's kind of where I developed mine.
Well, talking about taking the right course, we know that the older brother of Blake Griffin, 3 years older, he played, as did Blake, for their dad Tommy in high school, and they were terrific high school players and 4-time state champions.
I mean, it always helps to have a big brother who's kind of been there and done that and can share those experiences with you. Doesn't hurt to have a dad also who's a pro player either, and also a college coach.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a comfortable margin here for the Clippers guys.
You can tell the point of emphasis has been to get to the offensive glass.
Yep, and they've set the tone here early with the hustle they've come out with.
On the court for Dallas here in the second, Parsons and Dirk are in at the forward spots. J.J. Barea is out there with Ellis, and it's Chandler in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc, and boy, are they taking advantage.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
Robinson's checked in for the Clippers. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Not to the surprise of anyone, really, but the Clippers last year were strong at home once again. They managed to go 30-11 at Staples Center.
And Kevin, that makes 3 straight seasons for the Clippers of 30 or more wins at home.
Rivers kicks to Jordan. Down low, Robinson. It's rebounded by Dallas.
You can see he just rushed it a little bit. Lost the focus, I think.
Nobody near Parsons. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. That's now 8 points for Chandler Parsons. Los Angeles leading by 11. At the elbow, it's Crawford. Takes a big height, bouncing, goes in.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Mavericks have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. Barea dishes. Oh!
Even when they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular. And he pulled it off.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it.
I agree. I mean, now's when you need a spark, something electric to get your teammates fired up.
What a game we've seen here for Jordan. 8 rebounds, and he's also got 1 block to add to the mix today.
Yeah, and that's just a small part of what we've seen, but it's been a solid contribution defensively.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Los Angeles.
They've made the commitment to get out and run, and it's paid off with some highlight reel plays in transition.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is working hard on the offensive glass. They've had a number of putbacks.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Rondo's checked in. He hits one, then this is the second attempt from the free throw line.
Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
Clippers leading by 10. To the paint, here's Davis. Chandler with the block. And now the fast break, Rondo with the ball. That's good from Parsons on the assist by Rondo. 12 points for Chandler Parsons.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
Here's Davis. Some solid D from Nowitzki. And Doc Rivers passed the 700 win mark as a coach last season. He's climbing the ladder in career wins.
Yeah, and he's, I don't know that Doc oftentimes gets enough credit for the type of coach he is. I mean, as a coach, he is well over 500 in terms of his career win percentage. And how about over 500 in playoff games as well? First off, look, every year there are all-star game snubs, and perhaps last year Monte Ellis was the big one in the West. Hard to leave him off given the way he played for the Mavs.
For Monte not being an all-star, there are a lot of guys that could have made an argument to be there. Monte's was as strong as any.
Yeah, and his own coach said that Monte deserved it more than Dirk, his teammate. And not a shot at Dirk by Carlisle, just Rick expressing how valuable Monte was to the Mavs.
And he sinks the second. It always seems the Mavs are able to compete for a title, Clark, but their window might be closing with some of their stars aging, namely Dirk Nowitzki.
You're exactly right, Kevin, because Dirk is the centerpiece of that franchise, has been for over a decade. They made the Rondo trade last year trying for a big finals run, but eventually they'll start to have to build for the future.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Stolen by Robinson.
Just waiting for a chance to make a play, and when the pass was made, he's all over it. Just a fantastic steal.
And it's out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession. Full 24-second shot clock. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. And again, no good by the Clippers.
And when you look at the Mavs, they have always built through free agency, still tinkered with the roster this season to get into a position to compete. Not having any lottery picks for so long has hampered their youth and development. And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Crawford outside, and that's good. Robinson picking up the assist. And that's 13 points for Crawford.
Well, you know, with the Mavs making the playoffs so consistently, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways. They rarely have draft picks that help take the team to the next level, but they are in the playoffs, which is what every team wants to be part of.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
Nate Robinson's vertical jump coming into the league, 43.5 inches. I mean, to get as high above the rim as he does, standing at just 5'9" on a good day, remarkable. The NBA's first ever 3-time slam dunk champion.
Mavericks trail by 10. Going back to Nate Robinson's abilities above the rim, Clark, he's had games where he was practically unguardable.
And he's not just a tremendous athlete. He has a ton of heart and character as well. One of the toughest little guys ever to play pro basketball. In fact, his dad actually played a season in the NFL.
Well, that's a good note.
Very good nugget.
Free throw good, Nowitzki.
You know, in Dirk Nowitzki, you start to wonder if he's the best foreign-born player ever. Of course, you have a lot of competition for that distinction. I mean, you got Hakeem, Nash, Parker, just to name a few.
Rivers against Rondo. Crawford. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today.
Back to the topic of Nowitzki as the greatest foreign-born player ever. I think Hakeem Olajuwon, Clark, is really his only challenger.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I'd keep Hakeem at the top of that list just because of his presence and impact at both ends of the floor. But Dirk, clearly one of the all-time greats in NBA history.
Parsons against Crawford. Pass to Davis. Jordan kicks to Rivers. Outside, Robinson fires the three. Dirk Nowitzki with the rebound. Nowitzki's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Rondo gets the bucket.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
And the Clippers call time here. And this is the first time they've matched up with the Mavericks this year.
And they usually came out on top when these two teams faced off last year. No surprise, they're the better team.
Yeah, and very tough to beat when they're playing up to their capabilities. That's why they're one of the top teams in the league.
And we've seen Dallas just be fantastic since the start of the new millennium. Year in and year out, they seem to always win 50 games. Hit that mark again last season.
Clippers leading by 6. Well, last season they won 50, Greg, as you just said. That marked Clark the 12th time. It happened since 2000.
Well, clearly this franchise has been committed to winning. I mean, you hear that from a lot of franchises, but they often aren't willing to take the risk that the Mavericks take. The Mavs do a good job of putting their money where their mouth is.
Down low. Kicks it out to Crawford. Chandler comes with a double team. Outside, Davis. Some nice passing here by Los Angeles. Shot clock at 5. Robinson, that's good.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Rondo kicks to Parsons. To the inside. Kicks it out to Ellis. Back to Chandler. To the inside. Not as good in the Los Angeles leads. Cut back down to 6. They get the basket from Rondo.
And when it comes to size, it's not a one-on-one matchup that favors him.
Well, you wouldn't know it with that finish, I tell you. I mean, that took a little bit of creativity right there.
And he gets it to go.
You know, sometimes the best way to attack size is to go right at it.
Parsons outside. Teardrop shot, and Davis pulls it down.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
It's been a difference maker for them in this game. That's what's put them in front.
Here's Parsons, and they cash in right away with the quick shot. Parsons got 11 here in this quarter alone.
And fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1. Taking it to the rack with power right there.
Oh.
Hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Mavericks trail by 8. The drive by Ellis. That drops. Ellis has got 5 points so far.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Jordan against Chandler. Davis. It's Robinson, top of the key. The shot no good. Nice D from Chandler.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Ellis, the pass to Rondo. Parsons on the wing. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Jordan's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Here's Rivers. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan. 5 points in the game. Mavericks trail by 9. And the Mavericks call time here.
And the Clippers not known for being an outside shooting team, but they take a large amount of deep mid-range twos as well as their fair share of threes.
For the Clippers, you think of Lob City and it's all dunks, but the reality is, Clark, as Greg was just talking about, that just isn't the case.
It really isn't. I mean, they also led the league in pull-up shots attempted by a wide margin, about 24 pull-up J's a game.
Some information for us, Doris.
Yes, thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Rick Carlisle was saying to the team. Parsons was the focus of the discussion, and he wants their offense to run through him. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. They're not going to wait for halftime. They want those adjustments to have an impact right away. Over to you, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Here's Stoudemire, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Paul with the steal. There's the triple. The shot misses. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. Moving on from this game, they're scheduled to take on the Lakers at the Staples Center. It'll be the third game of this 3-game road trip. The dish now to Harris. He feeds it to Dallenberg. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Los Angeles leading by 7. Paul kicks to Jordan. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Parsons got his third rebound on the night. But Trey, the Clippers grab the miss. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Griffin dishes to Barnes. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Barnes has got 10 points in the game.
They're perfectly content to keep going to that mid-range jumper. If the defense is going to give it to them, they'll take it all day.
It's about getting open looks, and they've used that shot with great effect here tonight. I tell you what, I'd settle for having as many points in this game as he has rebounds.
Yeah, I'd echo that. I mean, we're witnessing something special here today, Greg.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
The shot by Paul, no good.
Another shot from outside. They're not attacking. I mean, going in and seeking contact like they did in the first one, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, you can't play the score clock. You have to play your game. They need to mix it up a little bit here.
Parsons for 3. Parsons can't get that one to fall.
Even with every shot clanging off the rim, he seems determined to keep hoisting up these threes. It might be time to get inside of that arc. Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
Harris up top, defended by Griffin, and it's Harris off the drive. It's Redick on the wing. The pass to Griffin. Power down with both hands.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Mavericks trail by 15.
And for all of the improvements he's made to his game, one wonders why Blake Griffin isn't a better shot blocker. I mean, he clearly has the motor and the athleticism, but for some reason over his first 5 seasons, he's averaged only a half a block per game.
54 seconds left now here in the second. Paul passes to Griffin. Out of bounds, Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession. Dallas making a switch here. Berea's checked in. And it's out of bounds, and they say last touch by Griffin.
Taking a look at some numbers for Redick, last season's performance for him, 3rd in free throw shooting, and he also shot his way into the top 5 in percentage from long range, just a knockdown shooter.
And just going back to his free throw efficiency, I mean, it's about confidence and routine when you're at the line, and he had it.
Pass to Dallenberg. Parsons outside. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
Yeah, foolish play. He's got to be thinking out there.
Which he clearly wasn't on that play. Or maybe he was thinking just about something other than basketball.
Well, speaking of thinking, back home, guys, we call that a good old-fashioned brain freeze.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Jordan. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession.
You always want a player to have his head up and to be surveying the court, but not if that's going to be the result.
And here are the Mavericks now, trailing by 13. And here's Berea. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Phoenix.
You know, and in watching that game, he did a really nice job of passing the basketball, scoring, and setting up his teammates.
Paul kicks to Barnes. Ball outside. With 1 on the clock. And so that's the end of the first half. Los Angeles on top. They lead by 11. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Here with Chris Paul. And Chris, you guys came out of the gates blazing, but cooled off a bit later on. What happened out there?
Well, we came out with a lot of energy, but in the second quarter it died down a little bit. You know, it's real. Everybody's very excited. You know, our team's excited, their team's excited. Officials excited, you know what I mean? So we just got to calm down and play a little bit.
Chris, thank you so much. Kevin, in this league, you've got to sustain those hot starts.
Thank you for the great interview, Doris. We'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. We saw Jamal Crawford lighting it up in the first half. He ended up with 15 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And let us get your thoughts, big fella, on the Clippers.
Well, they've been playing with some toughness, and it's led to a nice lead for them, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding numbers. And now they need to stay mean, Ernie. You cannot lose that edge in the second half.
And over to Kenny. Let's get your insights on Dallas.
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And that'll do it for now as we send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. It's been quite a game for Chandler Parsons.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
Mavericks trail by 11.
You know, you look at Dallas, and that team didn't rely too much on the mid-range or the short game last season, but they could have. They shot 70% from 12 feet and in, excluding drives. That's pretty good.
Paul and Crawford pair up at the 1 and 2. Barnes and Griffin holding the forward spots, and it's Jordan in at the 5. Roam in the paint. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doc Rivers.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
For the Mavs, and that 70% shooting from 12 feet and in, a lot of Dirk high posts and push shots from their guards will do that.
It isn't the most efficient shot by analytics, but there is a lot to be had in the mid-range. If teams only protect the 3 and the rim, you can feast on them with the little short push shots. The Mavs did that last season. And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
And it's blocked by Jordan. Chandler with a screen for Ellis. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Offensively, the struggles continue. 0 for 5 to start the half.
Crawford kicks to Jordan, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
And it's Rondo penetrating, tipped away. Crawford outside Jordan. And the wide open shot from Paul misses the 3.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Better to be lucky than good sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't get burned on that one.
And here comes the break. Crawford, no one around him. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Griffin's got 4 assists now tonight. Rondo kicks to Parsons. Looking to end the run. Parsons can't get that one to fall.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Dishes to Barnes. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Barnes has got 14 points.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Dallas calls timeout. And watching Matt Barnes, he will do all the dirty work for you. He's an instigator. He's an agitator. And he's a team player, I think, at the court. Everywhere he's gone, you know, and he's played for a lot of teams, Greg, he's had that role.
It's a great point. I call him a glue guy. You know, he's not someone who's going to be a volume scorer or a smooth playmaker, but the game really is built on grit, diving for loose balls, taking charges, making hard fouls, you know, whatever it takes to help his team win. I like that line, antagonist. That's a very good way to describe him.
Dallas calls timeout.
For Matt Barnes, I really felt last season was one of his best. He was the Tony Allen type defensive guy for Doc Rivers' team. Did all the little things, and he was efficient. Near his career high for three-point percentage and a career low in turnovers.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Yes, thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Rick Carlisle was saying to the team. Parsons was the focus of the discussion, and he wants their offense to run through him. Coach reminded them that he is supposed to be the key factor tonight, and he still wants to see that happen. Coach was not wasting any time in altering their strategy here in the second half, and Kevin, he's going to have to hope those changes take effect quickly.
Thank you, Doris. And that is good. 9 points for Dirk Nowitzki.
And I know if I were starting a club, Matt Barnes is the type of guy I would immediately look for. He's that tricky enforcer who has just enough skill to hurt you with his game. So him, in my book, equals winner. Scoring well here at the midway point, and now they're starting to put some distance between them.
Well, offensively, they just continue to roll. I mean, they're padding that lead bit by bit as a result.
And Parsons gets it to go. Here's Paul. On offense, here are the Clippers. They're on a 13-4 run right now. That's good. 16 points for Barnes.
They've been getting it inside at every opportunity and getting results, too.
Yeah, that's a winning formula as far as I'm concerned. They've been the aggressors and far more assertive on the offensive end.
And Parsons kicks to Nowitzki. Again, the miss by Nowitzki.
Yeah, great look, but disappointing with the miss.
Boy, what happened on that one, Greg? I mean, that's almost an automatic shot for him.
And it's all one-way traffic tonight. Boy, they have been lights out offensively.
And there's no telling how big that lead's going to get. But, again, it's just one game, but nonetheless a very impressive one, the way they've handled their business here.
Paul kicks to Griffin. Over to the left wing. Paul, right side. Just 5 on the clock. Chandler with the block. Ellis against Barnes. The feed now to Paul. Back to Barnes. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. And the dunk by Jordan.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
To the middle. And there's Ellis. That's good on the assist by Rondo. Rondo's got his 7th assist here tonight. Clippers leading by 22. Paul with the ball. Crawford outside. Back to Paul. And he lays it straight in. Paul's got his 2nd basket of the night.
Nice pass there to set that bucket up.
And that's 10 of their last 12 points that have come off assists.
Chandler with a screen for Parsons. They double him with Jordan. Parsons dishes to Chandler. Nowitzki a screen. And it's Ellis penetrating. Terrific design on the pick play. And he lays it in. Ellis has got 9.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
And the Clippers call time here. Monte Ellis has always had a knack for the big shot. When things are on the line, he is a guy that is not afraid to step up.
And Kevin, last season, he had a number of big second halves and fourth quarters for the Mavs. Really took over that primary scoring role from Dirk Nowitzki. Stole a lot of games for them last season.
Yeah, Monte did have a lot of big second halves for the Mavs last season. Seems like at least half a dozen games for them, he would just take over. Started to get looked at as the top go-to guy late.
The Clippers making a change here. Davis is checked in. Clippers leading by 22.
And for Monte, it makes sense to go to him late in games. He's so fast that he can create a shot anytime he wants. And very rarely does he not give you a chance to win with just one shot remaining.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Clippers.
The mid-range that you've seen from them about as good as it gets. And there has not been a drop-off in the second half.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
And both free throws good for Davis. And for Glenn Davis, he's been used sparingly the past 2 seasons, averaging less than 15 minutes a game, but I think he began to show his worth in a very nice role off the bench for Doc Rivers and the LA Clippers.
Yeah, I think there's a familiarity having played for Doc and on that championship team in Boston. And you talked about that production or lack thereof having followed suit over the last 2 seasons, averaged only 4 points and 3 rebounds. So they're hoping he can rekindle what he had in Boston.
Down low. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Griffin's got 6 assists in the game. The Mavericks shooting is leaving something to be desired, just 36% here in the 3rd quarter. Parsons on the wing, covered by Barnes. And it's Parsons slamming it down.
Showcasing his skills with that slam.
He knows how to put the exclamation point on those, doesn't he? Man, oh man.
Does he ever.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Paul passes to Davis. And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
The Mavericks shooting 47%, pretty solid. Rondo kicks to Ellis. Chandler with the screen on Crawford. And it's Ellis penetrating. The shot by Chandler wide open. Nice open look, but it's no good.
Their rebounding has been off the charts today, guys. Reason number 1, this game is out of hand.
Exactly, Clark. Their lead is not surprising given their advantage on the backboard.
Here's Dallas. Inside. To the paint. Here's Crawford. Good again. He's on tonight. 9 for 13 shooting.
And his stroke has been dead on from the outside. I mean, inside, outside. It just doesn't matter.
Chandler with a screen for Parsons. To the paint. And the dunk by Chandler.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Outside Griffin. Back to Paul. 6 to shoot. And he uses the glass on the layup. Paul's got 4 points in the quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
J.J. Redick's checked in for Jamal Crawford. Dallas also making some changes. Amari Stoudemire, he's checked in for Chandler. Harris comes in for Chandler Parsons. And Barea subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Ellis against Barnes. Now Ellis, he's got 9. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Redick dishes to Griffin. To the inside. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That one is on Stoudemire.
Really an extraordinary game for Glenn Davis. He's got 10 points and 2 steals. He's plugged in here in the 3rd.
As impressive a quarter as you could expect.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths. Shooting in the low 60s last season.
And we saw it last year, guys, because those numbers were so low, teams weren't afraid to put him on the line where points were hard to come by for him.
Samuel Dalembert, he's checked in for Dallas. And both free throws good for Davis.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No misses yet. You can't do much better than that, guys.
The drive by Ellis. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
How about the concentration? He gets hit, but stays with the play and gets the finish.
Innovation and improvisation right there, Greg. Finding a way to get that shot to fall after taking the contact.
He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1.
And his percentage at the line last season, right at the 75% mark.
You know, you work hard all season, Greg, to try and get into the playoffs, then get a favorable first-round matchup. How about the Clippers last year? Followed those steps. They're rewarded with the first-round matchup against the defending champions of the league, the San Antonio Spurs.
And not only were the Spurs the defending champions, but they came in playing terrific basketball down the stretch, which is kind of what they are noted for. And the Clippers, though, did well, even though that was the case.
Boy, that's a really nice feed by J.J. Barea.
Los Angeles has gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Davis up top. It's Redick on the wing. Puts it up. It's in there. Davis with the assist. Redick's got his second bucket of the night.
Boy, I tell you, it was a tough road for the Clippers in the playoffs. They get by the Spurs in round 1 in a 7-game emotional series and immediately have to go up against the Rockets in round 2.
Dallas calls timeout.
And we all remember the Clippers would go up 3-1 against the Rockets. They had that 19-point lead in the fourth quarter of Game 6, but couldn't hold on to it and lose Game 7. And it was one of the biggest series collapses, really, in postseason history.
Here's Barea. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. It's Ellis on the wing. Barea kicks to Ellis. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ellis. Well, folks, tonight a great rebounding game we're watching in progress. And now, you know, with that in mind, let's take a look at the all-time record for rebounds in a single game. How about Wilt Chamberlain with 55 rebounds back on November 24th, 1960.
And guys, that's one of those records that always seemed to me impossible to break. I mean, in the modern era, nobody's even sniffed that 55 rebound mark. I mean, heck, a lot of teams don't get 55 rebounds in a game, and Wilt's owned it since 1960.
And D'Alembert with the slam.
Superb playmaking from Monte Ellis. That dish was right on time.
Paul kicks to Redick. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 5 assists tonight. The Mavericks shooting straight 49% from the field. From 15 feet away, they get the rebound. D'Alembert buries it down low. D'Alembert's got 4 points in the quarter.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
Paul passes to Griffin, and the foul on Amari Stoudemire. That's foul number 2 for him.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Here's Paul. He's got 7. 1:15 left here in the third quarter. Redick for 3. Barea pulls it in. Stoudemire with a screen on Paul. Barea dishes to Stoudemire. Harris with it. Chris Paul covering. 6 to shoot. And it's Harris off the drive. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got his 5th rebound in this one. Passes to Griffin. There's the 3. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, he looked clumsy on that one. He was not going to get away with that.
Yeah, he climbed all over him. I mean, there's a picture of that one in the officiating manual. So clear easy call.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Jordan comes in for Davis, and it's Rivers in for Chris Paul. It's Ellis on the wing. 26 seconds left to play in the third. Redick against Harris. Ellis outside. Releases. Buries the 20-footer. Ellis has got 14. 12 seconds left in the third. Rivers kicks to Barnes. Can't hit from in close.
The defense is ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint. Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Now here's Rivers on the floor for Dallas starting the fourth quarter here. Charlie Villanueva out there with D'Alembert. Then it's Jefferson. Then there's Harris. And it's Aminu in at the 3 slot. Rivers can't get it to go.
Not the best shot right there with a good defender draped all over you.
I agree with you. I mean, not the shot they were hoping for, but he can really cause problems with his defense.
No issues on that one. Good work all around.
Here's Robinson.
And just way too early to tell how this year's group of rookies will turn out. But just from an early look, they seem to be a group that can contribute. Definitely not going to be a class with a small impact on the league.
A shot by D'Alembert, no good. The Clippers shooting has been fun to watch in this game. They're at 57%. Here's Jordan. Jefferson with some nice D.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Here's Aminu. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Here's Tompkins. Villanueva covering. Tompkins misses.
And once he had to change his shot in the face of the D, you just had a feeling that one wasn't going to fall.
Jefferson with it. Turkoglu picks him up. Puts it up from 15. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. The Clippers have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. An easy 2 points on the layup.
I love the killer instinct he shows right there, exploding to the rim to add to the lead.
Feeds it to Aminu from deep. And it's Rivers with the rebound. For Los Angeles, they've gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. It's stolen by Jefferson. Now, here's Aminu, guarded by Robinson. Here's Jefferson from deep. And Samuel D'Alembert picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, this is nothing new. There is some debate on how successful max contracts have been in the NBA. A lot of players have demanded max contract money, but haven't lived up to the pay. And in my opinion, there are only about 15 guys worthy of max contracts in the league in any given year.
Glenn Davis is checked in for DeAndre Jordan.
My goodness, he sure can get off the ground.
One of the best in the business for sure. You're right.
I tell you what, he is an imposing finisher around the rim. He makes it look a little too easy.
Harris against Robinson, and it's Harris off the drive. Dallenberg, the second chance points on the tip in.
Boy, I'm impressed with the determination he showed right there, getting himself in the good position under the glass. Did his work early there.
Yeah, with the presence of mind to know just where the rebound was going to go to.
And then also just the niftiness with that tip in, just a quick touch, again, before the defense knows what hit him.
Well, we were talking about max contracts. There are arguments to their benefits. Commissioner Adam Silver said last year that he feels they help with parity. What do you think?
You know, for the most part, I do believe he's correct. I mean, they do help with parity. For guys like LeBron and Durant, let's face it, the big max contract can be a hindrance. They're probably considered to be worth far more than they're paid. But it's going to be something that is debated back and forth throughout the next negotiations for the CBA.
Villanueva with a screen on Robinson. And it's Harris off the drive. And Dallenberg with the slam.
Great rise and dime there. He changed gears in midair to make the assist.
Here is Robinson. It's stolen by Dallenberg. Stolen by Rivers. To the middle. And it's sent back from Dallenberg. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession. James checked in for Dallenberg. Poked loose from the inbound. Rivers can't get it to go. Dallas has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. James sets the screen for Harris. And Jefferson, here we go. Goes back up. That's tipped. And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. Another shot. Here's Jefferson, and they get it back. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too. You know, one thing we saw a lot of last season during the playoffs was the hack-a-shack plan, pretty much purposely fouling a poor free throw shooter. A lot of differing opinions on it, as it wasn't fun to watch for the viewers, but many feel it's a legitimate part of the game if it works.
And folks, those are hops you just don't see from that one spot every day.
Well, that's why he is such an uncommon talent.
Yep, uncommon and unparalleled. I mean, he makes things happen out there for sure.
Harris kicks to Villanueva. Lays it up and banks it in. Villanueva's got 6 points in the quarter.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
And the Clippers call time here. Platoon swap here for the Clippers. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for James. Nowitzki comes in for Charlie Villanueva. Chandler Parsons, he's checked in for Al Farouk Aminu. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Jefferson. The Clippers have gone 5 of 11 from the field in the fourth quarter. And it's Paul penetrating. Rondo with the steal. And now the fast break. Rondo with the ball. Runner in the lane. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Griffin's got 7 rebounds in the game.
Physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. That plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, not to mention what it says on the scoreboard. They're really pushing them around. Straight bully ball.
Rondo kicks to Parsons. Nowitzki sets a screen for Parsons. Kicks it out to Nowitzki. Buries it from three-point range.
Great opportunity right there. He's got such tremendous length. He can just rise up and get separation for the three.
And it's Paul penetrating. He kicks it to Barnes. Back to Paul.
And, you know, the new court projection visuals, all the rage in the NBA now. Instead of having to use a screen over the court, it just projects video and images straight onto the court. I think before long, you'll see it everywhere.
Ellis is checking in for Dallas. Those court projections you see in the pregame, we don't even have the best angle for them. They're so good.
Yeah, nice perk for those sitting a little higher up on those or those watching TV. It's about putting on a show and at the end of the day, entertaining the fans.
And an area where Dallas struggled last season was defending the three-pointer. A lot of their losses came against teams that just took them apart from beyond the arc.
And it's the Clippers with the ball. Jordan with it. Now Chandler defending. And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That's his first foul. Dallas struggled to defend the three last year, as you said. Bottom 5 in the NBA in three-point percentage against. And the team shot just over Clark 36% against them from three.
And to compound that particular issue is that they allow teams to take a bunch of threes against them. I mean, it's something they've really got to shore up going into next season.
An open jump shot there, and their D not putting up any resistance today.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
That's his second personal foul.
And, you know, the NBA loves to experiment with different rules in different ways. The D-League last season used international rules for goaltending. And that small change makes a huge impact on the defensive end.
And for the international rules of goaltending, players are allowed to touch the ball after it hits the iron, even if it is over the cylinder.
I'm not sure if the NBA is going to adapt that rule, but I think it wouldn't be a big deal to adapt it because there aren't a lot of times that play happens in the game. I think it would be a small percentage of those plays over the course of a season.
And the second free throw, good. And here is Paul. He dishes it to Jordan. To the paint, deflects the pass, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ellis.
And you can tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough for him to get a hand on it and knock it out of play.
Crawford passes to Barnes. Just 5 on the clock. It's stolen by Rondo. And here we go. Parsons heading to the hoop. Rips down the breakaway slam.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Fires from 18. The shot is off. And the Clippers will come the other way. Crawford drives in, dribbles, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
I tell you what, you got to love his aggressiveness finishing inside like that.
Well, his leaping ability, Clark, gives him a great advantage.
And that's why they look to get him the ball around the rim. It's either a dunk or free throws every time.
Ellis can't get it to go.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Crawford kicks to Jordan, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Rondo dishes to Parsons. Nowitzki with the screen on Barnes. Parsons' shot is off. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And they will call over the back on the play.
And around the NBA, there are some who want to redo how the NBA lottery works. They feel it punishes teams for trying at the end of the season and instead rewards others who maybe aren't doing as well.
And the Clippers making a change here. Robinson's checked in. The Mavericks also with a sub. Aminu's checked in. Poked away. Paul with the steal. Robinson with it. He's picked up by Rondo. Robinson passes to Griffin. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Outside Robinson. Shot clock at 6. That 3 off the mark. You know, Clark, losing teams handling losing with an eye to the future. It's a slippery slope and a very tough situation, not only for teams, but the league to try to figure out and rule on.
Yeah, exactly, Kevin. Well said, and I'm not sure what the answer is. I kind of like where we are with the lottery system, but it's something to reevaluate. I don't think it needs to be tinkered with at this point.
And they've looked terrific in transition today. That's had a lot to do with their success.
Boy, it certainly has. I mean, they've done a really good job recognizing anytime they've had the numbers advantage, and then they've taken advantage. We've seen it time and time again here.
Shoots from the right block, and it's Robinson again missing.
And he's trying to shoot his way out of it. You know, they have the lead, but honestly, I think it might help if he be a little bit more selective tonight. And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
Chandler with the steal. Now the Mavericks moving it up. Ball going up court. Stolen by Robinson. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 6 assists now in the game.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose, the D hasn't been able to keep up.
Chandler, no good.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
And Robinson wide open. He shoots. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Rondo kicks to Ellis. 16 feet away. That's good on the jump shot. Ellis has got 11 points here in just the second half.
Easy little jumper for him right there, guys.
That's a 2 from Paul. It's rebounded by Dallas. Ellis outside.
Well, the game's getting bigger, going international. But at least in the U.S., it really seems the game is going indoors. Back in the day, the legends of the game still played on the blacktop. That's becoming a thing of the past. And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Los Angeles.
But, Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
Especially because they're going to get together 3 more times this season, Greg. You'd love to get an opponent figured out early, and you're going to be seeing them that often.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for DeAndre Jordan. And you have to love the effort he put forth on the glass. He played with a fire no one else could match as he chased down those rebounds.
And speaking, Clark, of playground basketball, why do you think that is that players are going indoors?
Well, I think one reason is playing on hardwood is nicer. It's easier on your joints and safer overall. The game has changed and it's big business now, but there are still plenty of weekend warriors who get their hoop on outside.
And that's just a little more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate a W.
Well, let the party start. The celebration begins, and they're going to let their guys hear it.
Robinson kicks to Griffin. Paul, a good look. So the Clippers winning this one easily. They poured it on tonight, Clark. A dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
I don't think they have anything but positives to take away from this win. Offensively, defensively, every aspect of the game, it all went right for them.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Chris, how does a win like this help propel the team at this point in the schedule?
Hopefully it gives us a little momentum. We got a tough stretch coming up. We got our back-to-back next week, so hopefully it just gives us a little momentum.
It was a pretty good start, Chris. Thank you. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. And now the award-winning Ernie Johnson will take it from here. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, DeAndre Jordan. We watched a marvelous third quarter from him, and he basically put the game on ice at that point. And from that point on, they were in control. And Shaq, I can tell you want to say something. Your comments?
I said for a long time that DeAndre Jordan should be getting a lot more credit, and tonight we saw why. He is capable of completely controlling the paint in any game.
In terms of individual rebounding, he had a game that will be remembered for a long, long time. Whether it's chasing down long rebounds or grabbing one in traffic or one-handed rebounds, he was going after them and corralling all of them.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.